Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. In today's video, I'm going to recap Orlando. I'm recording this on Sunday night, the day before it goes live. I've been back for just under a week now, and I still don't feel like I'm fully caught up. This might turn into a lengthy video, so let's just jump right into it. You know I had to do the PowerPoint for it. Uh, let's see what we've got here. Here's the outline. It's probably going to be lengthy, as I said. Feel free to time travel in the comments. There will be timestamps. Going to start off with just a general sales overview, talk about what was selling, how things were feeling, what my thoughts are for like Dallas inventory moving ahead. Second will be some photos. The layout of my cases, probably talking a little bit more about the inventory when I'm actually looking at it, and some of the big sales and trades, the way that I tracked some of that stuff. Terrible job tracking stuff throughout the weekend, so I don't have like a full spreadsheet for you with every sale. But yeah, I would snap a picture of like any big buyout or any big sale or trade. So I do have a few of those to show. The next slide is a massive just word dump. Terrible slide. If I were doing a presentation in college, I'd get quite a few marks off for that slide. But it's just a stream of thoughts of which I'll go over. Kind of reminded me what I wanted to talk about. And then if anyone cares to stick around towards the end, I'm going to do like a recap of I was there Thursday to Monday, a little bit of what I did each day, partly for my own memory to be able to think back to what I had done each day. I was waiting a week to make the recap video, so I just wanted to make sure nothing left me. We will. That said, I probably won't get into so much of that. That'll probably be more like Pokeflipz. So check out on Thursday. Nick and I will be live at 1 p.m. on Pokeflipz. We'll probably do the classic. What did we do Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night? How are the sales each day? And we'll go through hour by hour probably a lot more of the weekend. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. And then the final slide, I do a nice little shout out. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Part of the thing I hate about trying to shout people out is like I don't want to forget anybody. Section 27, 70, and 71, I tried just putting every name out there, and I think I got everybody. I'll probably link a couple. If I remember, I'll link a couple other recap videos in the comments. But yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, sales breakdown to start. The most asked for and then the best sellers. I think what would interest most people. Peak liquidity was in Ultra Modern. I did have Crown Zenith packs. I did have some Ultra Modern cards like Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield era, Full Arts, and things of that nature. Didn't really have anything for Alt Arts. I was constantly being asked about Zards, Pikas, and Eevees, as you see here. Alt Arts. I was asked about Crown Zenith, V-Star Universe. Not surprising. Peak liquidity is in Ultra Modern. Next most liquid, I would say, at least from my experience, WotC. And then mid-era. I did have a decent bit of mid-era, as you'll see in the photos. I did bring quite a few slabs with me. And they did well, but I think mid-era it was lower popularity at the time that it came out. It was lower print run, lower production, but it is lower popularity in general. Ultra Modern is the funnel that brings everyone in. WotC is where a lot of people's core nostalgia lies that are around my age. And packs did really well. I brought a ton of packs. It was a huge part of my inventory. And I'm glad I did because they sold very, very well. That was a thing that I saw throughout 2022. Sorry, yeah, 2022 in the Collecticons that I went to. And then I think that will be a trend that continues through this year. One thing I wanted to touch on briefly, trade-up challenges. They were everywhere. I know they're big on YouTube. A lot of the big content creators will do them. They'll start with a coin. A lot of people will give in and give a lot of value add to the content creators so that they can be featured in a video, right? Well, that happens. The video gets 1 million views or 5 million views, and every kid or maybe adult goes and tries to replicate it. You got to just figure out how you're going to deal with it ahead of time. And it was funny. Some people actually had a placard on the front of their table. No trade up challenges. No trade up challenges at all. Because some people would come to you with $100 slab. Oh, I'm looking to trade up for that $350 slab you got there. And I'm like, well, you got anything else? You got any cash to add? Oh no, I just want to trade that. I'm not here to give away $250. So try the next table, I guess. Send them over to section 70 way. Couple times I had kids come up and they had a 50-cent dollar V, and they wanted to trade into an Astral Radiance pack or something like that. And I let myself be beat on a couple trades like that because it is what it is. Again, some people do, some people don't. Some of them I negotiated with a little bit, and maybe I got an extra 50-cent card, so I didn't lose quite as bad. But you love to see the kids ripping the packs, enjoying the hobby. So it's just less. It doesn't feel as good when it's an adult on the other side trying to get something like that out of you for nothing. And another thing I wanted to talk about is like, and I'll show it in some of the buyouts, heavy packs. I've mentioned that I want it to be my brand, and every time I go to a convention, I'm going to bring them. Part of me and my channel being so small and my reach, I can't really get like a massively premium price on packs. So I source very well and I get a good low price on the buy side. And then I don't need to make like 5K on a box. I don't need to make, I think there are some channels out there that just have the reach, supply demand with hundreds of thousands or millions of subscribers. You can make thousands on a box. I make 1,000 or a couple thousand maybe. And all it takes to do that, I price my heavies where they need to be. And then I plan on grading the lights and making some money on that end. And I'm a buyout target for the larger streamers. So I think moving ahead, I will probably price my packs a bit higher, the heavy packs specifically, just because I do want people to get the chance. Ultimately, they are getting the chance. They're just getting the chance on other channels. They're getting the chance through other whatnot streams, whatever it may be. I would, and I guess I'll talk about it now because I did mention the attractiveness of buyouts versus individual sales. As people know who've followed my channel for a long time, I've made a couple spreadsheets where I do the EV of buying into a heavy pack from Fossil, Jungle, Base Set Unlimited. You're going to lose money most of the time. So honestly, it is for multiple reasons, of which include, one, only dealing with one buyer, all in cash up front, sell my 12 heavy packs from a box, wash my hands of it, it's all done, no issues. That feels good. Two, if and when I sell them individually and someone hits the chase first, if I'm selling Jungle and they hit the Snorlax or the Vaporeon, if I'm selling base and they hit the Charizard, I'm a fully transparent, open book guy. So every subsequent person who asks about those packs, those remaining 11 packs, I'm going to tell them the Charizard was hit. I'm going to tell them the Dark Charizard, the Dark Blastoise, whatever it was, I'm going to be honest about it. And it kind of kills sales. And then another aspect is, if and when they don't pull the good thing, you've got to watch somebody lose hundreds of dollars. I mean, selling a $500 heavy base pack is what I had them priced at. I sold all 12 at $500 a piece. I had a $6,000 sale instead of having 12 individual $500 sales. Very attractive to just get it all done in one and then have that cash and being able to move on, put more stuff in my case. But then, yeah, two is like, if somebody pulls a Hitmonchan that's going to PSA 8 in front of me, and I got to just see $450 evaporate into thin air, and I've got to, like, half the time I take their phone and I record it for them, it does feel bad. It does feel bad. So it removes me from that step of it, right? That's just part of the game when you're selling heavy packs. I full disclosure, I always tell people, you're going to lose money. This is a gamble. It's a gamble you're probably going to lose on. So selling all to one person who's going to then sell them on, I don't have to see that, and it doesn't feel as bad. You don't see the wins, but the wins are few and far between compared to the losses. Most people lose ripping heavy packs. So interesting thoughts around selling heavy packs and part of what I want my brand to be and my offering to be. I mean, I justify it by being fully transparent, telling people what they're going to get. And they're adults. If they want to gamble, they can gamble. And I'm here to have the cheapest packs on the market, so cheap that they just get bought out from me, and I can't ultimately sell it to you anyways. I do have, and I will have, if they last, base set unlimited heavies. I'm going to do 600 a piece. I did do 500 a piece for Orlando. They got bought out. I'm sure that the seller will probably get 600, if not slightly more a piece when they sell them on. And I will have base fourth heavy for 650 a piece. So I already have sold a couple of the base heavy for 650 a piece. If you have interest in either, feel free to reach out to me. It's not something I can really sell on eBay. It's not something I don't think I want to sell on my website, but hit me up on Instagram, Discord, email, and we can arrange a way if you're interested in buying those. Prices will be pretty firm, just because if I go much lower, they'll just get bought out in bulk. And yeah, that's where I'm at with those. I'm already going through too fast. Let's see. Okay, so this was my setup day one. You can already see on my sign on the front, base set heavies are crossed out because they were sold, and then Topps Movie 2000 crossed out because they were sold. They both pre-sold. I put up a story pre-Dallas, and a couple streamers hit me up, a couple people with YouTube channel or whatnot hit me up, and they just bought me out. So you can see in the back kind of, and this is something I'll touch on when I do my recap, my long rambly slide. My boxes are in the back and my cases are horizontal. It leaves a little bit of room at the front and a little bit of room at the back. You can actually rotate the cases 90 degrees and you can have some space in the middle, kind of like an alley in the middle. You can kind of tell DNA next to me on the north side of this photo. He had his that way. He had his vertical. I think for the next con, I'll do it that way so that I can have my boxes and packs in the middle, more towards the back. The nice thing about the cases is you prevent people from just being able to grab stuff as they're walking by. If you're talking with someone in the back of the section or with another customer. But yeah, I think the little tablecloth runner thing that I had worked well. Pretty crinkled and wrinkly because it was in my luggage or I shipped it down. But overall, I was pretty happy with the layout. Got my nice Charmander there. Got some of my mascots, PSA 10 Dan, Squirtle Squad, and then Griddle Greaser Pete. But yeah, that's the general layout, and then we'll take a closer zoomed in look. This was one of the cases. I went Naruto on the side. I did have a couple of the artists that were signing. Tsunade, Jiraiya, and Pain were three of the artists that were signing. Three of the voice actors that were signing. I did sell. Shout out the real Typhlosion. Sorry, I mixed that up in my live stream with Typhlosion. But yeah, the real Typhlosion. Met him, cool guy. He bought a Pain from me and went and got it signed. Nice PC item. But yeah, a little bit of Naruto, a little bit of Dragon Ball Z, some Metazu. Metazu, I had some pretty cheap slabs that didn't sell at all. I did have one PSA 10. It was the NFT token, 1 of 100 gold Mothman. That did sell. Other than that, some tops. I tried to like theme and put everything together. I'm actually covering, let me turn my face cam out for a second. I'm covering the PSA 8, or sorry, CGC 8 base first Charizard, but you can kind of see I have all my base first together over here in the middle. I tried to put the things that I wanted people to see better in the middle. So the right side of the left case and the left side of the right case, but I tried to theme things together. You see the Worlds promos together. You see, I didn't do a perfect job because I wasn't gonna completely redo my case once I found a couple of things that I'd missed. Getting over to the right case, you can see someone's looking at a binder, one of Ray's binders in the bottom corner here. But some Japanese stuff, Japanese premium stuff in the middle. See my burned tower. You see some of the versus series PSA 10s, the Scream promos, those things. Every con I went to last year, I had Scream promos. They all sold out every time. No difference here. They all sold out every time. They all sold out here as well. Some WotC stuff in the middle, some Call Legend shinies and promo shinies. The SL, beautiful cards. And yeah, that's about what I had. Some of the EX era reverse holo, the Ditto pretending to be Bulbasaur, pretending to be Squirtle. Those all sold as well. Very liquid. All the starters, Eevee, Pikachu, Charizard, like I said, evolutions were big. A lot of people asking about alt arts and evolutions. There were some one-off random collectors of certain species that you wouldn't have really expected. I can't even remember specifically what they were, but some people might have come around and said like, hey, have you got any Ampharos? Hey, have you got any kind of like the mid-tier popular species, not the ones you'd list in a top 10 or anything like that, but I can't remember specifically what they were. Most times I didn't have them though, because I probably only brought 150, 200 slabs, but my sell-through was really good. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to comment on, but I made sure to put a pop-up. I don't have this in hand yet, so I can't specifically vouch for it. I should have it this week. I'll probably, if you watch my live stream this week, I will be live as well as Pokeflipz will be live. I will do like a live demonstration of how it works. I'm not going to drop a link to it in case it ends up being bad. But one thing I wanted to talk about, a lot of people were busting my chops in my live stream because I was using a 4x6 label printer and I was putting all the prices on this and then cutting them out individually. And I got multiple people praising my price tags because let me see if I can find one. I don't think in this photo, but in the next photo, you'll actually see. You can see my tags here. You can probably read it on your screen. 140, 120, 70, 100. The price guns that a lot of people use from Amazon, they do. I actually have some right here. Let me go to my desk cam quickly. I'll talk about these more in a minute, but yeah, these little ones compared to the nice big prices that I had. I mean, look at the difference. 300 versus 100, just the size, the visibility, being able to actually read it. A lot of people did praise me for that. So that's one thing that I will have in Dallas. I'll probably be a popular person with that. This thing will probably be getting passed around. I'll need to make sure to bring extra batteries. I'm not crazy about the fact that these run on batteries, but that's how they work. They run on batteries, and then they come with this tape that you refill. I think it's thermal, but I'm not positive, so I don't think there's like an ink to refill, but I'm pretty sure it's just the tape. Maybe this tape has ink built into it. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I measured how big my tags were. This prints out like a 1/2 inch label, so it should be about the size like this ho-oh that you just saw. But yeah, I really like the visibility of that, so take that, everyone who was picking on me in my live stream. Big trades and buyouts. If this slide works properly, hopefully every time I click, an image will disappear and we'll see the layer below it. But this was my biggest individual slab buyout. It was Cloud. I don't think, I won't mention some of my buyers because I don't know if people want me to blow up their spots. But if you follow Cloud on socials, you've probably seen some of these cards that he's been offering. He's selling some on Whatnot. He's selling some individually on Instagram, whatever it may be. But he's bought from me every convention I've been at. We have kind of a good relationship going. Basically, he comes to my table, he pulls out what he wants. We agree on a percentage. We went 70% here. So I don't have a spreadsheet where I'm going to run all this out. It worked out to about 8K. If you look individually, this was a point I wanted to get to. If you look individually, there are probably some cards in here where it's like, yeah, taking 70% on that individually, I'm not crazy about. But some of these cards have sat for several months on my eBay. And if you watched my live stream where I priced some of these live, I priced them 50% under my eBay buy it now because the market has trended down. So to be able to just take 8K worth of cards, dozens of slabs at once, wash my hands of them, take 70% cash money on the spot, that's an attractive buy for me. It's not for everyone, but our relationship, he pulled them out. I took out my phone, I totaled it up, and I gave him the number, and the cash was there. So that, to me, is a very great relationship to have. It's a very attractive thing to be able to just offload, especially Sunday midday when it's things that didn't sell earlier in the convention. As I mentioned, have prices on everything and have accurate, up-to-date pricing. Don't have pricing that you did 6 months ago, because that's one thing that he knows. He's comfortable with how I price. He's comfortable that I've done a comp within the past week and I'm low list, last sold, whatever it may be. So he'll just basically blindly buy it at this point for a certain percentage. But if you're trying to price something at 300 that just auctioned last week for 200 and low list is 250, he's not going to pay 70% of that, right? Like, he's got to make his cut too. I pay 12% on eBay anyways. So to be able to just bulk sell a bunch of stuff, 30% off, I would have paid 12%, 13% fees anyways. Works great for me. Not for everyone, but yeah, that's my thinking on it. And you can see he took quite a bit of diversity. He took some, that Jolteon Gold Star, it's not the PSA 10 Delta, no, not Delta Species. It's not the one from the set. It's the one, the World Championship one. So he took that for 700. He took, I mean, 70% times any of these. The PSA 10 first edition Muck for 210. This Charizard down here, I actually took that one in trade. So you can see it has the price gun I borrowed from DNA. Can't even read it. You can't even read that 250 hardly, but you can see that 200 on the Erica right next to it. So yeah, I really like the label printer price as opposed to the price gun price. But yeah, move all that at once. Next buyout, let's see if it goes. This one I believe was Travis from Going Twice. He comes by, same deal. We agree on a percentage. He just takes out everything he wants, cash money. Done and moving on. He had a nice little system where he had a gallon Ziploc bag. He put everything in it. He wrote the price he paid. That's how he keeps track. I keep track with a photo. Everyone's got their own system, right? I actually have I had this that I was writing prices on. So maybe pause it and see if you can make out what all my sales were. But yeah, I had my wife jotting down on cardboard the side of a case. I should have just used a notes app in a phone or something. It's so hard though sales were so good. Orlando was trafficked so well that I couldn't even keep up with writing everything down. Great problem to have, that I couldn't keep up with all my sales. It was a big trade. So Super Saiyan 3 Goku, my cards were on the top and their cards were on the bottom. So Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Dark Tyranitar PSA 8 from Neo Destiny, and a Rudy promo. Rudy really big feet, CGC 9. He traded me 3 magic. Fair bit of liquidity. Well, fair bit of liquidity in those raw, I think. They're Black Border, 4 Horsemen sets, Arabian Nights, Reserve List, Ali from Cairo, and Shahrazad. Two arts that I was familiar with. I don't know much about Magic, but I did know these cards. So worth about $300 to $400. Well, I think the Shahrazad was towards 500. I actually sold that to Pokesmoke. And the Ali from Kairos were around 300 a piece. It's funny, PSA 7, CGC 7.5 graded, almost undersells, just moderate play to heavy played raw. I might have to crack those to sell them for a few $100 a piece, but we'll see how that ends up going. The Shahrazad is already gone. And then PSA 8, Neo Revelation First Edition, Shining Magikarp with Shining Gyarados, and a PSA 8 Charizard from Expedition. I believe I still have the Charizard. I need to get that up on eBay, but I did sell. I think it was in one of my previous buyout pictures. I think Cloud took them, the Shining Gyarados and Shining Magikarp. At the end of the day, the Super Saiyan 3 Goku came from that 25k binder collection. It is a card that is worth in the vicinity of that, I think, but I think I got about that value in trade of things that are more in my wheelhouse. So 3 of the 6 that I traded for, I already sold. I was able to move a couple other cards that I had a pretty low cost basis in. To me, ideally, someone comes up to me with 2,500 or maybe even 2,200 cash and buys that cash, and I'm just done with it. But to take this trade, I did do more trades than normal in Orlando. I always say that I'm open to them, but a lot of the trades just don't end up being super attractive. But I was able to successfully do more. Let's see what the next one is. Last one. This is one of my buyouts. All at once. It was a $16,000 sale. I forget the exact number, but it was 1 light art set of base set unlimited. It was all my light and heavy base set 2-packs that I had, and it was all my light and heavy jungle unlimited packs I had. Individually, I probably would have sold most of the heavies. Base set 2 is sketched away, so I was a little nervous on actually selling them as heavies, having people rip them, and then ending up being light, and I would just had to leave it. Shout out Josh, the Green Shiz Collectibles. He actually sent someone over to me who had, I forget the number, 17 packs maybe, and I overpaid for it. But I shouldn't have paid as much as I did. I think I paid $3K on 17 or maybe it was 19 packs. Base set 2 and Rocket Unlimited. I sold 1 Rocket Unlimited heavy. They pulled a Dark Dragonite, so that was actually a decent pull. I mean, they probably still lost money, but it was a decent pull. Better than a Weezing or something like that. And then I sold 2 base set 2 heavies. It just wasn't to like a streamer or anything. Somebody who ripped it right in front of me. And their first one was a Clefable, I think. So I got 300 for that heavy. I priced my heavies at 300 and my lights at 150. Funny thing, the 17 or 19 packs I bought actually all came from KB Toys. Somebody bought it from KB Toys 23 years ago. I believe the story. I took a risk, and they said they had never weighed them. I didn't weigh them before I bought it. I bought it, and then I weighed them. It was over 1/3 of them were heavy. But sad story, I sold a 21.1 gram base 2. They pulled the Clefable. Same person came back a little bit later. They wanted to buy another heavy, and they pulled a Pokemon Trader. So $300 on the table. They pulled a non-hollow. I always guarantee, heavy guarantee. I give them the $300 back. They walk away with the pack and the Pokemon Trader. So I ended up losing money. I bought 17 or 19 packs for 3K, and I sold 1 that hit, 2 that hit heavies, and then 1 that didn't hit. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to sell more. Somebody ended up coming by later and buying them out from me for a slight loss. Given the $300 loss on the heavy from the base 2 that ended up being a non-hollow, and then what I bulked them out for, I probably lost like $400 from that, $400 or $500 from that one bad flip. 3K down to 2,500 or so. That's don't buy loose packs at conventions. Buy boxes or things like that, or just pay less. If I had paid 2,500, I think 2,500 is what Josh had offered them, and I shouldn't have outbid that by much, if at all. But anyways, I just wanted to share that story because I did very well overall, but I did take some L's here and there. So Had to include those. Another funny thing that I don't have any pictures of, but somebody came by with MetaZoo Wilderness. I think the boxes are going for like 40 on eBay, 40 or 50. I offered them 25 bucks a piece. I bought 3 boxes from them. I bought a bunch of modern packs too that I ended up flipping to DNA for like a 10 cent, 20 cent a piece profit. But the Wilderness boxes, I sold 2 to Gem at Pokemon, break even, 25 bucks. Shout out Mr. Walrus. He bought one from me for 20 bucks. So I took an L from Mr. Walrus too. I lost 5 bucks because I realized after buying them for 25 bucks a piece, I didn't want to ship them back. I have over 100 Wilderness booster boxes at home. So I didn't want to ship them back, and I just sold them for break even and a slight loss. I have to share the L's with the W's, right? Where are we now? I think that's that whole slide. So this was the next day. You can see a lot of things are different if you have a good memory and you can remember what was there. In the right side, I did have coins in the bottom right. Coins didn't move at all. I had them priced at 100 for the 10s and 50 for the 8, for the 9, sorry, and then 80 for the PSA 10 Blastoise. I sold 2 of these Blastoise coins on eBay for 100. So 80 was like, I mean, if somebody had offered me 50 cash, I would have sold them for that. I should have just priced them closer to 50 or 60 because that's just straight profit. I paid $7 or $9 to grade them, I think. Anyways, I probably won't bring coins to future conventions. Super niche, high margin, very, very high margin, but super slow selling. I might sell a coin a month or a couple coins a quarter, not even quite a coin a month. But WB creator cards, I did end up selling the Pikachu I had to Sam, and I sold, I think that's the only one I sold. The other 3 I brought home. I had these heavy packs got bought out. These were the ones I spent 3K on and then ended up losing 500 bucks on or so. So if Josh had bought them for what he had offered, he probably would have broke even too, unless he was smarter with them and didn't do heavy guarantees. My my Japanese expedition packs, all the heavies got bought by somebody. I have the lights that I'm going to grade next week. I have a bunch of the light base set. All my heavies got bought out, but I'm going to grade a bunch of the lights. I think that's getting us through most of the sales. This is my Ramble Recap slide. So this is more, I'll probably just go full screen. If you want to read it all, I guess just pause it at this point or print screen, take a quick screenshot, and I'm going to go full screen because you don't need to see all these words for so long. But or maybe I'll just leave them because you don't need to see me full screen either. But I talked about rotating the cases already. I'll probably rotate them 90 degrees for the next one, put my boxes in the middle. Josh, the Green Shiz, in his Orlando recap, he actually talked about like wedging up the back. That's a good idea. I did see a couple of vendors that did that. Some kind of a wedge, some kind of a thing where instead of laying flat on the table, you bring up the backs of them a little bit, not like a very high degree, but just a little bit, so they're a little bit easier to see. That's a good idea. One mistake I made, ATMs spit out 20s. I did not bring any 10s for a change. I brought a few $100 for a change, assuming I'd have to break a couple hundreds, break a couple 50s, whatever it may be. But so many times people were buying a $130 card and they gave me 720s. And I had to borrow 10s from people. Eventually enough 10s came in that I was able to be fine. But if you're selling 50-cent singles, make sure you have quarters. If you're selling $5 packs, make sure you have 5s. Like, people are probably going to be paying a lot in 20s because they probably just hit the ATM. So that was just me being stupid. I wanted to put this in here for anyone. If you're selling a lot of stuff for 50, make sure you don't just have 100. Like, it's very common sense, but I found myself very short on 10s, and it was just a little bit of a pain in the butt. I will have a lot more 10s at the next convention. 10 or 20 10s, I would have been fine, but I went with like 1 or 2, and quickly they ran out, and I was just having a bit of an issue. Adding Venmo or Zelle. I did have PayPal friends and family, and I had cash. You can see the point below, my sales were about 60% PayPal and 40% cash. I did have Nick, old school Pokemon, received 1 Zelle for me, and DNA received a couple of Venmos, and then they just gave me cash, whatever it may be. We'll sort that out later. But there were several times where people were asking. I did bring too. I brought my card reader. I didn't use it though. I didn't really want to. And the internet ended up being really good in Orlando. Last year it was terrible. So I was worried if I tried firing it up, one, it wouldn't work properly or the internet would start giving me issues. But a couple people asked, and then I just had them switch into Venmo or PayPal. So for me, it was all PayPal and cash was fine. A couple people came wanting PayPal or Zelle or Venmo, and I talked them into PayPal. But PayPal is a little more tedious. you have to log in, which is kind of a good thing. I had to log in and do authenticator, all that stuff. I think Venmo is just nicer. You scan the QR code or you type in the phone number, and it's a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. I've been contemplating adding one of those, so I'm gonna look into both those this week, next couple weeks. And for Dallas, I will have at least one of the two, if not both. I will have either Venmo or Zelle, maybe both. Uh, and some people ask a very common question. You talk about buyouts a lot. What percent of your sales are buyouts, and how bad would your show be if the Whatnot guys didn't come by? Some people worry about that because, like, I have a relationship with them at this point. I usually hit them up and I'm like, hey, I'm in this section. Come find me one of the days. If they didn't stop by, how bad would my convention have been? My buyouts were about 60%. So I guess at this point, 30 minutes in the video, hopefully we don't go to an hour. I did a little over 50K. I didn't, between 50 and 60. Section 71 did beat Section 70 by a landslide. But yeah, I 50 to 60, somewhere in there. And buyouts were about 60% of that. Largely the pack buyouts. I don't think I did a split. I should have done a split on what was packs versus what was slabs. Probably about 60-40 again. Probably 30K in packs. Maybe not quite that much, but the one pack buyout was 16K. The base heavies were 6K. So probably about 60% was packs versus 40% slabs. It's funny how everything split 60-40. 60% PayPal, 60% buyouts, and 60% packs. And then 40% was cash, 40% was like individual sales, and 40% was slabs. Funny how that worked out, how that split worked out. Very approximate, but close. So one thing about the buyouts, if they didn't come, some amount of the stuff, and I think that's why some people have hesitance for the buyouts. Why do I sell at 70% when they might sell for 100% otherwise? Because they're taking a lot at once. Like some amount of those slabs that I bulked out for 70% a piece almost certainly would have sold for near 100%. If not 100%, they probably would have sold for 80 or 90%. But it's attractive to just move a lot of slabs all at once, at least for me, especially when I have stuff in my bag that's not on the table. I always come with more than I can fit on the table. If my cases are full and I have nothing else to show, maybe I'd be less prone to, but especially when I have stuff in the back that I want to get in the case, I like buyouts. One thing I wanted to hit too was what was it? Oh yeah, people paying full list price without negotiation versus people negotiating. I would say about 1/4 of people just are like, okay, that one's $100, here's $100. That one's $250, here's $250. Versus, could you do this? Could you do that? Can you do a trade? So about 1/4 of my sales were just, here's the price, they paid it. And then 3/4 of sales, they were trying to work in a trade or they were trying to get a discount. Just I figured I'd share that. I've been asked that before. I'd be interested. Let me know in the comments below if any of your numbers, if any of your splits, payment method, buyout percentage, if any of those vary wildly from me. Let me know in the comments where you were at. Poorly managed on my end, but I double sold two things that were included in buyouts, ended up selling on eBay. I did a little bit risky. I brought some eBay inventory down. I did bring dozens of slabs that were not listed on eBay, so there was no risk of double selling, but I did bring probably 40 slabs that were listed on my eBay. I didn't pull them down beforehand. For Dallas, I will. For Dallas, I will pull down every slab that I bring if I remember to and if I have the time to, because that is kind of a bad deal. What I did was, I told them, hey, I was at a convention this weekend. It sold. My bad. I forgot to pull it. I sent them a Hidden Fates pack. I'm like, here's a full refund. You'll see tracking. It's for a free pack. Enjoy. I apologize. Hopefully I don't get a negative feedback, but we'll see. My playmat behind me, I showed it in my live stream, my memento. I didn't get everybody to sign it. That's just the way things goes. These things are so busy. You're selling. You're trying to talk to people in your section. You're trying to talk to people in the next section. I miss Professor Oak, if not others too. I got my thing signed on Sunday. Saturday was so busy, I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think to pull it out and start getting it signed. And Oak wasn't there Sunday, so I missed his signature. But I think I did get everyone else from section 70 and 71. I got Old Card Shop from section 27 on his way back there. I don't think I got like Weedle's Warehouse and those guys, but for Dallas, I'll try to do something again. I'll try to get everyone's signature, but it wouldn't surprise me if every time I were to miss somebody, because that's just the way it goes. It's such a busy weekend. You can't see everybody the whole time, and it's hard to remember those things. Section 70 challenge, 71 versus 70. We won, as I mentioned earlier. I think we won by quite a lot, and honestly, my gross number was way higher than I would have expected. I think Orlando knocked it out of the park, way exceeding expectations. But honestly, like when you hear my number, that's not at all meant to be like a flex or a brag. There are people who did deals and probably made singular item sales for more than my whole number was, right? And I'm a full-time guy. So my number, like I should sell a lot. I should sell a lot of these conventions. I wanted to say, and I'll talk about them in the next slide or a couple slides. I was so proud of everybody. I was like, I was so proud looking around when people were getting their buyouts or when they were throwing slabs on the table and cash was getting laid down. I'm not going to blow up anyone's spot. Hopefully a lot of people make recap videos. Shout out Ray, shout out Weedle's Warehouse, The Green Shiz. I've already seen a few recap videos, but I hope I see more. You know who I'm talking about. Retro, Colson, dust off those YouTube channels, bring out a new video. So proud though. Like my numbers were solid. I think I might have taken section 70 by myself. Section 27 actually. They weren't formally in it. They were only a half section. I think they got second. So shout out to those guys. Weedle's Warehouse in his video covered some of what they did. But yeah, I'm not gonna say I do know a lot of numbers of what people did, and everyone did really well. Section 71. I think without me, if you took my number away, I think they beat section 70. There were some big numbers. There were some people side hustling who don't do this full time that were big numbers. Yeah, I'm not gonna say the number, but like big numbers, not at my level, not where I was, but also they're nowhere near full time. They didn't bring as much. I was selling packs at low margin. I did not do 50 to 60K at 50% margin. I did not make that much money. Some of the slabs were higher margin, but a lot of my packs were 10% or sub 10% margin. So big gross, lower net. There's probably people that netted more than me. I don't even know, to be honest, but I was just so proud of everyone. And honestly, the bet was in fun to begin with. It wasn't like a serious thing. I wanted to see everyone do well, and I heard a lot of numbers that people were doing really well. So we had 2 sections in Orlando. One thing I wanted to cover, I'm bummed. I'm annoyed with myself that I didn't book one for Dallas, because at the time that we were talking about it, we have a Discord for Collecticon planning. There just wasn't many people talking about it. You got to book. You got to know several months in advance which conventions you're going to, and you have to let people know that you're interested. Because for Dallas, there weren't that many people. For Orlando, we had 2 sections and then the half in the back, and we could have had more. We could have had another section, if not a section and a half, and filled it. Because I only did 1 table, and I do 2 or 3. Nick only did 3, and he'd do 5, the madman. There was a lot of people that went down from 1 table down to half table, or 2 tables down to 1 table, so more people could fit, and still everybody couldn't fit. So Dallas, we only have 1 section. We have like 10 people on the wait list. We have like 10 people who wish they had a table. For Charlotte, we're looking 3 or 4. I'm hoping we can fill 4 sections and get like a box, get north, south, like you could stand in the middle and just see all around you. You'll see us. The Pokeflipz, old school Pokemon. I think who might lead the sections: old school Pokemon, me, Catch 'em all collectibles. So the Pokeflipz crew, and then Weedle's Warehouse in Charlotte might run one, and then Ray as well if we need a 4th. So it'll be cool if we can get those 4 sections going. I put down bottle opener. I told this in my live, but I'm an IPA guy. I picked up some IPAs at Walgreens. Shout out to Cam and Alexis. Alexis saved me because I was in the hotel lobby trying to drink my IPAs, couldn't find a bottle opener, didn't want to damage the tabletop there. So she went and found me a bottle opener. Later on in the night, she went and found some cups for mixing some rum and cokes. So yeah, she was a savior. Next time I'll just bring a bottle opener, hopefully, so I don't need to struggle to try to open a beer for so long. Another thing I ran into, I did end up alleviating myself of some cash, because traveling by traveling by plane, I don't think it's like I wasn't dealing with customs. If you're going international, there's actually consideration for how much value you have if you have to declare it. So I don't think I had a legal requirement to declare anything, but I stress a little bit going through airports with like a large amount of cash if and when they were to, not that I'm trying to hide it, but if they were to find it, if they'd question it, oh, I sold Pokemon cards, and they look at a fat stack of cash. I don't know how that would go. I'm probably overthinking it, but talking to some other people who I bought boxes from at the end, I did source a base set unlimited booster box and a base set fourth print booster box on Sunday evening to alleviate myself of some cash so that I didn't have to travel back with so much. And what some people said they did is they have a major bank, say like Chase or Bank of America, someone that has branches around all these big cities that collecticons go to. I have a small like credit union, almost like a mom and pop little local branch. There's like 4 branches within 30 miles of me. None in Orlando, none in Denver, Charlotte, Dallas. So I might try to get with a major bank so that on the Monday after I can just go deposit cash into my account and then not have to deal with traveling with it. Because there is some, not just like if TSA or customs, if you're going international, not just them, but like just the risk of theft and things like that. It is a bit uncomfortable to think about and do. So just being able to deposit it at a bank and not worried about it could be nice. I mentioned this in the slide, but look at buyouts as a whole, not individual parts. I know what happens is when some of the whatnot streamers come, whoever it may be, trying to buy you out, people will really overthink. Oh no, you can have these 9, but you can't have those 2 because 70% is too low. I did do that on one card. Cloud was trying to add my base first Charizard, the CGC 8. That was at a 10K and he wanted 70%. He wanted 7K on that. I said that's the one card in both my cases that I can't do 7% on. I said I need 80% on that. I need 8K. But I think some people try to pull like, don't look at every individual card. Look at the whole deal. My whole deal was 8K and I was happy to get it individually. Is there a card I could have gotten $50 more for? Is there a card that I would rather gotten 75%, 80%? Probably. But I was happy with the deal as a whole. Did I individually lose on a card here or there? Yes, probably. But the deal as a whole was a win. So each individual card, like each individual card, some wins, some losses, some break evens, but the whole thing was a win. And that's that's the way I look at it. That's my opinion on how you should look at it. If you want to do it differently, that's fine. But if you start pulling too many cards out of it, they might just walk away and not buy any of them, right? So that's the risk you run, but you got to deal with it how you want to. That's just my thought. I did have some other sales too. Completely never hit the case. Some of them. Walrus, he posted on Instagram, so I'm not like blowing up something. He bought a BGS 9.5 Naruto card, and then Coulson and Retro and DNA. I actually brought down some bulk from the 25K binder collection that I bought. Coulson pulled out some Naruto. Retro pulled out some Yu-Gi-Oh. DNA pulled out some Yu-Gi-Oh, and then Retro pulled out some Dragon Ball. I hope these guys make recap videos, and I hope they make videos of the cards they got from me and show off, talk about. I hope they make a lot of money. I mean, I'm doing really well in that 25K binder collection, so I hope everyone else is going to do well with it too. I mean, a lot of these guys helped me figure out what was there and if I was going to be able to buy it and make money. Yeah, I hope I see those in videos, and I hope they do well. Moonbreon, Let me remove this. Let me talk you through some of the trades. Anything with the smaller price tag is something I took in trade. I don't remember how I valued these. I don't remember where I took them in trade, but these are some of the cards. This card I outright bought. I had one in my case for 400. I told the guy I'd pay 70%. I paid 280 for that cash. Randomly, I had some raw cards come in. Let me see. This video is going to be almost an hour. The Rayquaza is pretty busted. I valued that pretty low because it's creased. Maybe it's a PSA 1 play. Lugia is like LP, maybe worse. Or somewhere in there. A lot of these cards probably aren't gradable, but maybe they'll be like Troll and Toad, Evo inventory. I did get 2 metal cards, which was cool to see. I probably pulled up on TCG Player quick where they were and then paid like 70% of that or something, or valued them 70%. These are the 2 magic cards that I talked about. This, shout out DNA. He bought like 5 or 6 Crown Zenith packs off me. I gave him a little bit of a deal, and then he handed one back to me and said, let's pack battle. few of us pack battled. Like 4 packs in a row were all duds, non-holo rares. And then I opened mine and I hit the Leafeon V-Star and the Friends and Hisui. So I might keep this card as like a memento, just remembering that pack battle. I've got the playmat. I've got this card. Last year in Orlando, I bought a 6K Beta Magic pack. So if I keep this card and if I keep the playmat, I'm doing quite a bit better having a cheaper memento. Maybe I'll keep this too. Who knows? Let's see what it hits. My I had 2K on it, I think, or maybe 2,500. Last sale was like 1,900 or 1,600. The Mewtwo EX from Team Rocket Returns PSA 10. I took this in $900 in trade. This looks like a 10. This definitely looks like a 10. I don't think it'll be a 12K BGS Black Label, but I'll have to take a closer look at it. Saxon, shout out to him. He traded me this in 900 cash for the Mewtwo EX Team Rocket Returns. So yeah, I own my first Moonbreon. I've never owned one before. Very happy to own one. Maybe I'll end up keeping it. We'll see what it grades. If it grades a 9, I'll almost definitely keep it. But it looks like a 10. I'm like 90+% sure it's going to be a 10. Plus they grade 80+% PSA 10, so it should be. Continuing on, old school Pokemon. On Monday, I had to ship stuff back because it wasn't gonna fit in my bags. He pre-printed labels to return his stuff. I had to buy them in the hotel shipment area, and it was more expensive. So that's just something for me to remember next time. Pre-print my labels of what I might have to ship back. Worst case, or kind of best case, if you sell everything and you have nothing to ship back, void the labels, get your money back. So it's a no-lose proposition. Use pirate ship, print your labels ahead of time before you go, and you got to kind of guess on the weight, right? Guess a little high on the weight, whatever there. He shipped back like a pack dispenser though, so that one he just knew what the weight was going to be. Binders, I might do binders at the next convention. I did all packs and all packs in slabs. I did have some raw, but that was like 3 1K boxes of Naruto, DBZ, and Yu-Gi-Oh! That I mentioned, DNA, Coulson, and Retro look through. I might do binders, but I don't know. We'll see. Big thing that prevented me from doing it is like I sell raw cards so easily through Troll and Toad Evo, and pricing would have taken forever. If I put 500 singles in a binder or 400 singles in a binder, one, it takes a long time to go through and do that, and then individually pricing all of them, because I don't want to bring a binder with no pricing on it. It needs to all be individually priced. That's just time consuming. The amount of time to put it in and then take them out if they don't sell, or take it on. I don't know. We'll see. I might end up doing binders, but I figured I'd put it there because I'm back and forth on it. Some people did really well with binders. Heavy pack pulls. I talked about the Dark Dragonite that was pulled, I think. I talked about the base set 2 Clefable, and then the base set 2 Pokemon Trader that I had to refund. But yeah, Lazy, shout out Lazy. He was 2 tables down from me to my left, and he bought a light Neo, not Neo, I keep saying Neo, Japanese Expedition, and he pulled an Arcanine, was his rare. So yeah, I wanted to shout that out. I think one more slide. Let me see. Oh no, this is the recap. This is just we'll probably go through this at great length. I don't know who's still here 48 minutes in. Let me know if you're hearing this 48 minutes in. But Thursday I got in late. The wife and I just had a easy night because we had Animal Kingdom the next day. We didn't go out. I thought about hitting people up, going and getting some drinks, but I figured I'd have a day just me and the wife, and make sure I get some sleep for Animal Kingdom. So Animal Kingdom all day Friday, we killed it. We did the lightning lane. We had every ride we wanted to. Food, I'm a big food guy. We had a barbecue. We had barbecue there, and then we went to the Avatar place, like Bowls. Good food. It was really good food at both places. Friday night, I did catch up with the guys and gals, and we played some poker at the Airbnb till 4 every night. The trend was just staying up till 4, waking up at 7, being at the convention at 8 a.m. sharp. I was proud of myself. In Denver, I only vended for 1 day, and I overslept an hour, and I wasn't there till 9:15. Vendors get the setup between 8 and 9. VIP is from 9 to 10, and then general admission is from 10 on. So I was there at 8 a.m. sharp, and I was fully set up by like 8:30 a.m. each day. The wife came in late. She slept in both mornings. She came in late with 3 dozen donuts. Krispy Kremes, more my style than the Denver Voodoo Donuts. Wasn't as big of a fan. So the 3 dozen donuts hit real nice. I think I had 3 or 4 of them myself. That's all I ate all day, was that pretty much. I think the wife got chicken tenders and fries too, and I had one of those, a couple of those. We did the Brazilian steakhouse Saturday night. Apparently it was my birthday. Professor Oak told him it was my birthday, so my wife got some free flan. That was a lot of fun. And then we just hung out in the hotel lobby. I was thinking about going back to the Airbnb. There was a ton of people at the hotel lobby, so I just hung out there. That's where Cam and Alexis got me that bottle opener for my IPAs. Someone bought pizza, so I had some pizza. Sunday, Pokestone. He offered me some bagels. Everyone said the bagels were delicious. I still was full from the 4 a.m. pizza, so I didn't have any. Sorry, Pokestone. I'm sure they were great. Maybe next time. But I just wasn't feeling it at 8, 9, 10 in the morning. I was still full from the pizza. We did a burger place, great burger place with 16 of us or so. Somehow at the Brazilian steakhouse, we had 18 people all at one table. That was awesome. Burger place, they split our 16 into 2 8s, which was perfectly fine. And I bought 2 base boxes. I bought a base unlimited and a base 4th at the end of the convention to get rid of some cash. That I didn't have to be stressed and travel so much, which was great. And then Monday didn't do much. Some people stayed till late Monday night, but I slept till checkout, and then I had lunch with Old School Pokemon and Jake Pokenomics and his girlfriend, and then went home. Yeah, I had a weird interaction. I mentioned it in my live stream, but I was in shipping my package, and one of the ladies was like, "Is that a duck on your shirt?" It was Quaxley. I said it's a Pokemon. She talked about how she played Pokemon Go. Then I went to the bathroom later, and there was a lady cleaning the bathroom. These feel like Cam stories. I mentioned in my live stream how they feel like Cam stories, only they don't have this weird ending where I go into an Inception style deeper story that turns me going viral in India or something. But yeah, this lady's like, I went to go to the bathroom, and this lady was cleaning the bathroom, and she's like, "Oh, almost done, 1 minute." I waited there for 3 or 4 minutes. I knew there was one, like a 2-minute walk down, sunk cost fallacy. I just waited and waited. She had like just started cleaning the bathroom and wasn't gonna like just say this bathroom's closed and I'll go down to the other one. I waited there for like 3 minutes, felt stupid, ended up walking down. A few minutes later, like when I came back, the 2-3 minute walk both ways, and she was still cleaning the bathroom. So it's like I could have just waited there 10 minutes. But she told me 1 minute. Like, just tell me. Yeah, weird story. Really weird story. Really weird way to end it. 52 minutes in. Felt like a Cam story. Meeting Cam was awesome. And yeah, I love his weekly lives where he just goes on some random story and it ends with, and then I went viral, 10K retweets, all that. But yeah, let me do some shout outs to end the video for anyone who made it almost an hour in. Section 70, we beat them, but they still killed it. They all did awesome. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Old School, Pallet Town, Crystal Pokemon, Pokeflipz, Mr. Walrus, Brad G, Pokestone, The Green Shiz, Professor Oak, and Pokenomics. And then in section 71, it was me, Ray, Lazy as Heck, Retro Specs, also known as Retro Spectacles, Giovanni, Colson, Ernesto, Thrifty, Iro, Rock Pokemon, Jake Smith, DNA, and Trainer Max was even there for about a half a day. He had some stuff in the case. And then section 27, Outback, probably second place in the head-to-head. Wheels Warehouse, Matt M, Old Card Shop, JLJ, Pokesmoke, and Brandon BB. Amazing time. I had an amazing time with all you guys. I just wanted to mention, I might link some of their recap videos in the description. I hope more of them do recaps. If you don't follow any of these guys on YouTube, not everyone here has a YouTube, but this is everyone that was there. I wish more people would make YouTubes. I wish more people would make recaps. I just want more content. I always have too much to choose from, but I want even more. Nothing wrong with having more selection and being able to pick what you want, right? So yeah, that's everything I've got. 54 minutes. We're going to be at 55 minutes by the time I wrap up. I was hoping I could do this in 20 minutes. When I got done with my presentation, I'm like 20 to 30 minutes. I should be able to do it. And we went 55. So that's a classic video. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything. I don't think I could have with 55 minutes, but I probably did. So let me know in the comments if you want anything else. I will be live on Pokeflipz this week, where we will talk Orlando exclusively, if I had to guess, or Q&A if people ask about anything else. But it'll mostly be Orlando, I'm sure. I will be live this week. This week's live, I will be primarily prepping submissions for PSA, BGS, and TGC. I have stuff to send to all of them this week, so I will be doing that. I'll do my short this Friday as normal. Pokeflipz Thursday, as I mentioned. I think that's everything. That's way more than anyone asked for, and that's everything. So yeah, I'm not gonna go on any further. I won't drag this out. I appreciate you all watching. I will catch you all later.